All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we are back with the Authority Project. And I'm excited because we have my new good friend here, Chrissy Tasker, who's going to unveil the underdog, rather, collaboration to success. This is different. This is unique. And she says she's going to bring it today. Is that right, Chrissy Tasker?
Woohoo! I'm glad to be here today, and that's what I'm here for, Brian.
Well, that's great. We shall see if she's going to do it for us today on this episode of
Awesome.
the Authority Project.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, feast your eyes and tune your ears. It's that time again. We are live with another episode of the Authority Project. It's the video podcast streamed on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Periscope, where we talk to digital marketers, business coaches, and creators of all kinds on how they've built authority in their field and how you can mimic their success. Developing authority, building your audience, and attracting better clients to your own business. Now, without further ado, let's bring to the virtual stage your host, Brian S. Arnold.
All right, we are back. This is Brian S. Arnold. And we're here with the Authority Project. You're the project, and we want to slap authority to your name so you can sell more of what you're great at. And we are here with Chrissy Tasker in the virtual building with us today. How are you doing, Chrissy?
Thank you so much for having me. I look forward for this chat with you today, all weeks.
Okay. Well, I am glad to have you here. Excited as well. So let's get right to it. First of all, let the people know about you personally and then professionally.
Hi, I'm Chrissy Tasker. Originally, I'm from Singapore, but now I have moved to UK. I'm a property developer. I'm also a distributor for branded European furniture in Southeast Asia. I'm a publisher and many books, #1 best-selling author books that is already published on Amazon and worldwide.
Awesome. So tell us about this current project you have here.
Okay, I specialize in co-author books. It's a way to get to authorship quicker. Okay, I have a lot of friends previously who wanted to be an author, but they are short of finance, they are short of knowledge, and do not know how, and do not know who can do it. So I embarked on a course to learn how to be a publisher, and I brought everyone together to co-share finance and build a books. And I promised them within 90 days they'll be author, and that is what happened. And we not just publish a book, we publish book that people will remember, and we publish book that become #1 bestseller within the day one of the book launch. So it's pretty exciting. And we build a tribe at the same time when we co-author book. It's a beautiful journey when you co-author with other keen writer. It's a beautiful co-creations. It's a journey that we come together, and now we become a pack, and we have each other back all the time, which is really cool. Yeah.
Okay. I see where you're going, but before we get there, one last question before we get started here. Yeah. What is your daily routine?
Wow. You see, because I'm writing a book now, so every morning I set aside 1 hour just to do my book. So I won't turn on my handphone. I will not turn on, but I will have to turn on my laptop because I'm writing the book on the laptop. And that very hour I woke up, I dedicate to writing my books.
Nice.
So if you have a goal in life, you have to set time even when you know you don't have to. You have to do the sacrifice. So I set the first hour just to do my writing of the book before I start my business of the day. So the next one, when I have that 1 hour, then that is where I turn on my mobile when I communicate with my staff in Singapore, and I start talking to other authors, which is in the book collaboration project, and plan about marketing, and the days go. And then I have lunch break with my husband. Usually I kick him out of my office, say, okay, leave me alone. So then I have lunch with him. Or sometime in the morning, we will have 1.5 hours to 2 hours to walk the dog in the wood.
Okay.
So getting to the nature is very close to my heart, which is also the way to get back to my sanity. which
Ah,
I really look forward to walking in the woods. I'm quite glad that we moved to UK where the parts where we moved to are close to the countryside. So we have a lot of nice area that we can walk the dogs, which is really a gift. Yeah.
yeah, that's awesome. Great. Okay, so we got there. So we got all that together. Very interesting. So let's dive into this collaboration thing. What do you mean, first of all, by this?
Book collaborations. Okay,
Yes.
so usually, I mean, if you know in the market, if you want to publish a book, it's pretty expensive. The publisher will come, unless your book is so good and have a lot of good reputation, the publisher will come to you and offer you certain amount of money to publish a book for you. Otherwise, you will have to engage a publisher or self-publish yourself, but it actually costs quite a lot of money to publish your own book. So by mean, most of the people do not have the resources, do not know how to write, do not have the finance to finance the book. So usually it's a dream of many, but only a few manage to fulfill it.
Oh.
I was one of them. I wanted to be an author since I'm age 7. I wanted to be an author, but no way that I could do it. I think it's also one of the way they burst the myth that there is no way you can be an author if you don't have the money, if you don't have the resources, and you do not know how. So I'm here to bust the myth that it's possible if you collaborate with others to come together, share resources, share the finance, share the expertise to come together to finance a book. It's possible.
Hmm.
And I do it within 90 days. Each book, within 90 days, we become author. So which is quite cool.
I like that. So 90 days. Okay. So let me play a little devil's advocate here about collaborations now. So when you say collaborations, is it like, do you feel that it brings the same type of substance as it would to be just one person author of a book when you do that?
Okay, so there is a different kind of authorships. So I think this is the quickest way to become an author, and also it gives you a lot of courage to embark on your own journey to write your solo books. A lot of them wanted to write their own books, but they do not know how, because usually a basic book's minimum you need a 20,000 words to make it look like a decent book size.
Right.
But most of the author will not have the confidence to embark it. But when they started these co-author books, one thing is psychologically as well. When you start writing and when you see your book published, it gives you the courage to go on and write your own books, because by then you already know what is supposed to be and how is it. So like in my author groups, there's so a few of them, at least 30% of each author groups, they embark on their own journey to start writing their book, because it's the courage that coming out to tell your story.
Okay.
And that if you cross that step, you find that you are able to do so many things, which is very amazing.
That makes a lot of sense. So it's like a stepping stone, like a bridge to doing your own, being your own
Yes.
author. So tell us about the financial thing now. So people who don't know about that, as far as why it is so expensive to publish a book, and publishing and the marketing and the promotion, the launch and everything.
Now, honestly, most authors don't earn much money.
Right.
Because when a book reach the bookstore, you have to give like the bookstore will minimum take a 50% of the commissions of the book, 50 to 55%. So leave you with maybe 45%, but you have to split with the publisher. And they also have this clause: if your book cannot sell, you have to take them back. So if, example, if the bookstore were to order your book,
Oh.
maybe they order, let's say they order 300 books, and okay, they will say, I will order that for you, but they have a clause: if your book do not sell, you have to take them back. So it's, for an author, it's quite a big financial risk for them. What if the book won't sell? I already print them out, and then I will have to take them back. So there's a lot of consideration being an author. So self-publishing, you have to learn how to do marketing of your book so that you do not get stuck with all this stock. And moreover, self-publishing, you can have control of inventory as well. We will still distribute it to worldwide, and our book are still published worldwide. But if you self-publish, you can control your inventory. You don't have to print the stock in there. You can actually go print by demand, which
Okay.
now is the latest in the market, where the reader, wherever they want, they just go to the site and order, and the bookshop only print it as by demand, so they don't stock it. So that become less of the financial risk for each of the author. Yeah.
Okay. I didn't realize that they can take your money. They can send
Quite a
it
lot,
back to
yeah.
you. So that reminds me of old school
So you see, some
music.
of the
Yeah.
traditional author have a lot of book under their bed.
Yeah. Yeah. The music industry was, I guess they were a lot like that, and it was just a hassle. And it's always, I didn't realize the book industry was like that as well. The same thing as the music industry. So
Yeah,
yeah.
that's right.
Okay. Okay. So
So there's a versus traditional publishing and self-publishing. So this is the new trend now, actually. So I'm quite glad I channeled because during the COVID time, there's a lockdown, and because I always wanted to publish book, I went on different courses to learn how to publish a book, and then end up I learned how to become a publisher. So there I learned all the tricks of how to save the money and how to do the marketing efficiently without having to bear the financial risk as an author, you know. So which I'm very happy I come across this. So from there I can't even stop, because when friends know that I start publishing book, they came to me for help. So
yeah.
that is where I start helping them to see the possibility of becoming an author, which is quite fulfilling, actually.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. So do you think? I know your expertise is more on the authorship side. Do you think that this kind of collaboration can work in other niches outside of just publishing a book?
Certainly. Because before that, I'm in the distributorship. When I was in Singapore, we actually have the right to distribute branded sportswear, which is like Adidas, Puma, Reebok. So I was in that line for 10 to 15 years.
Okay,
And I collaborate with every single business that I can.
okay,
So, and there is so many different way of collaborations. Like to enter a big departmental store, usually you have to pay a very heavy fees, a big sum of money to them before you could place your products in the departmental store.
yeah.
But
Wow.
we work it differently. So I usually go and hustle with the departmental store manager to say, why don't, because I can't afford to pay you the big sum to put my placement, but why don't I give a good discount to your customer and you let me come into your store to do a promotions. So that is how I do different collaboration with everybody. I give something so that in return we can have a win-win situation relationship. So any collaborations, if you're in any business, collaboration is the easiest or fastest way to get you to success or reach your financial goal.
Awesome. Something I talk about here a lot, about not doing it by yourself, trying to get out of that solo thing, which I'm still trying to do. But but it's a big thing. I mean, I have partnerships now. I guess I have people that I can count on whenever I need to. But talk about how important that is for your confidence, for just getting in there, getting it to that next level and getting more exposure that way. Because I think a lot of these solopreneurs are like, I just need that one person or that one big break. How does collaboration work in its effectiveness in that way?
You see, I tell you, every time I collaborate, I become so inspired. Collaboration is really, it will inspire you because it's easy to get into a routine during day-to-day operations of your business, don't you think?
Yeah.
And you forget there are many or better way to do something, like different techniques to try or new tools that you can save your time and money. But when you collaborate with others, you start communicating, and when you share your knowledge, you get motivated, inspired, and support. And you discuss about information or new context that you can add into your business, and the data that you're going to collect when you communicate with the rest. It's brilliant when it comes to collaboration. Each time I talk to somebody, it inspires me with some new ideas into my business. But choosing the right partner. Now, the difference between a permanent partner and collaboration partner is different, because if you choose a permanent partner, you will really have to comply with the rules of listening to each other, or but when collaborations, you can have your voice, but at the same time, when the project is over, you can walk away. So you
Yeah.
don't have the liability of complying to that. But collaboration, you also have to choose the right partner to come in. Of course, someone that have the same value with like you, somebody that have the same integrity as you, which is very important when it come to a quality or a success of a collaboration at the same time.
So I'm glad you said that. So 'cause my next question is, who is this method of collaboration best suited for? And maybe who's not suited for? You know?
Finding the right value partners is pretty important, but sometimes it depends on what kind of collaboration. If you're coming into a group for collaboration, you may not have the choice, but
Okay.
then the determining factor of a successful collaboration depend on the essence of the collaborator. That means the leader, some I recently I had a collaboration. It's such a good example. I had a collaborations, and the leader told me, because we're deciding on the book titles, the leader say, go to the group and ask them what book title they want. I said, ooh, it's going to be disaster, because I have 20 author in there. They have different education background. They have different values or points. They have different opinions. It's such a disaster to ask 20 people to agree with same title.
All
And
right.
true enough, when I went in there, God, we almost went into a fight. It was terrible. It was
Yeah.
like literally you can see the tensions. Like, oh my God, it was horrible.
Okay.
So through my experience, I know that does not work. So I have to tell the group, say, you see, in the collaboration, each have their own strength and talents and expertise. So you have to trust each person to do their job instead of trying to do the other person's job. So I have to tell the group to say, I have to tell you, I'm the expert in this area. You have to trust me to make that decisions. Of course, I will come back and tell you what I have decided, but you have to trust me because of my past experience. I can show you what I have done. So, in a successful collaborator, you have to let people do their job. You
Yeah.
cannot be somebody that say, I'm going to be involved in everything, because that is the failure of a collaborations. Because nobody can be expert in anything, but you have to let somebody take over in certain areas because they are the expert in this authority. If your group, someone is the expert in marketing, you have to trust them to do that marketing things. So
Yeah.
it's the same thing. If I'm the expert in branding, leave it to me to do the branding. That is what I told them. And the result was amazing, because they came out and they said, we could not trust you better because the result is amazing.
Awesome.
That's what it's supposed to be. Yeah.
Awesome. Awesome. So that I got one other question for you. With that, the books that you're doing, is it all into like one subject when you're doing it?
So
Are you
usually
giving?
there's a team. Usually each collaboration book, there is a team.
Okay.
So how I determine a team, sometimes sometimes right from the essence, the group author may say, okay, we want to decide to write something like this. But usually I will say, okay, I will give them a general theme in the beginning. Like example, I would say, write something that will inspire, that will motivate, that will share your life journey. So I will give them a general theme. But when all the books came in, I will read through them, I feel the essence, and then I will collect. Then that is where I decide the theme of the book. So like the latest, even they wrote about their book, their journey and things like that. But I can felt the essence was about the courage of coming out to tell the story. So actually, that I came out the book title called Unstoppable Courage, which is quite
Okay.
yeah,
Awesome. Awesome.
yeah. So that's why I draw the essence from there.
Okay. So what you're saying is great. It's awesome. I love this. I love this topic. Now, the only thing about this, Chrissy, is everybody's going to want to work with you. So is there how do we go about researching or partnering, but people who feel like they don't have, any reach or any place or any person to really collaborate in this way? How do you go about the research or working out searching for the right partners to get something like this going?
Okay, so I emphasize a lot on going into your community.
Okay.
So, like when I say underdogs, so I always emphasize find your pet. Okay, find your
Okay.
pet, and that is where you build your own community. Now, it's very important if someone want to be successful, don't try not to do it alone, because I was a solo entrepreneur before and I struggle and I have to work so hard all my
Yeah.
life.
Yeah.
But later part, when I realized if I could collaborate, I cut my job half, and literally I can really speed up the success of the goal that I want to be. So you must find the kind of groups that you want to be in. Build your own tribes, which is so important. So in fact, today I was telling you I have three parts of the topics I want to talk about. The part 3 is actually about finding your pets. Find your pets is, that means you have to find the group of people that have the same value as you,
Okay.
that of course they speak the same language. Otherwise it's so difficult if you do not speak the same language, isn't it? You could mix a group of teacher with a group of business people, and you'll find that it is pretty awkward.
Yeah.
The teachers have their own lingo, and then
Right.
but if you put them together, they don't speak. So you have to find your own pet eventually. How to find your own pet first? Because I think we are blessed with internet. Okay,
Yes.
you do not have to, because if we don't have internet, imagine you have to source from your own community, which is quite a hassle. So nowadays I collaborate with people worldwide, which is quite amazing. I have, because of my time, I can speak to Singapore, I can speak to India, I can speak to in UK, and I have these different people coming together to form projects, which is very exciting. So because especially social media, now 83% of marketer actually actively pursue social media marketing, right? So using social media to find, to listen, to connect, to engage, and to sell their idea is so important. So everyone who got something to promote, they know that they have to go on social media. But a lot of them fall into the trap of thinking that they all need to do so many things on social media in order to get the attention.
Yeah.
But if you can find a group of people who have the same goal as you, example, maybe I say public speaker who want to go on stage and speak, okay? But if they can find a group of similar, a group of people who are interested to do public speaking, they can come together. They can come together to share a platform, example, okay? But if I were to start a platform to do public speaking, it can be very costly. Resources, logistic, finance, and how about how to do the marketing, and
Yeah.
the person may not have all the expertise in this area. But if I can find a group of people who are interested to be public speaker, we can come together, and probably within there, some people will be very good at marketing, somebody will be very good at logistic, someone will be very good at finding sponsorship. So, and we can pull all this talent and resources, and we can start a very meaningful platform at the same time. So you see,
Yeah.
you have to find your pet to see where, of course, it may take some time, but if you find the right pet, it is so valuable. Do not let it go, because that is where you can grow together.
Yeah.
Like now, literally, I have a pet with me that my friends who have co-author with me, and a lot of time I say I need help, and they say we are here for you. I'm like, so
Right.
like, it's really
Yeah.
having somebody at your back. Like, yes, we have
Right.
your back. It's so cool. So this is what we need to do in a community. But of course, first be a giver. If you want to receive, first be a giver. Even Tony Robbins have said, when you give, you will come back 100-fold. And this is something I always remind people. If you collaborate, first you must remind yourself to give,
Yeah.
because that is how a meaningful collaboration come in. When you give, example, if I have a lot of contact, and I know somebody need a florist, and I know of a florist, what I should do, I would actually recommend. So that is what you mean as a giver. You must always be ready to recommend somebody, be ready to help somebody to be out there, do the recommendations or put the name out there. because that is where people will reciprocate. That means they will do the same thing as for you as well at the same time.
I love it. That is awesome. Awesome. I have one last question. One last question before we get out of here. And then we'll get up against it here. So I ask this of all of my guests. It goes something like this. They see you, Chrissy, I'm sorry, and they hear what you're saying. They love what you're talking about, right?
Oh, thank you very
And
much.
they have probably similar goals, similar things they want to achieve. We got somebody saying amazing. She loves reaches on the
Oh, thank you so much.
yeah, and they want to do the same things that you're doing, right? Can you give them, and I'll put you front and center on this, can you give them a little bit of what they need to do to be an authority in this space of collaboration and making up projects like this happen for them?
To be, you mean in collaborations, right?
Yeah.
Not just book publishing.
Yeah, or whatever you want to say, whatever.
Now, you see, for many years, that's why the topic is how the underdog becomes successful, because I was an underdog. You know, if you are in a disadvantaged situations, now what do I mean as an underdog? That means you may be not highly educated, you don't have that finance, you could be dyslexic, you could be introverts, you could find yourself become a single mom. But all this disadvantage does not mean that you cannot be successful, because I was in that situation before, an underdog. All this, I fall into all this, but to reach out to ask for help, to reach out to build your tribes, and that is where you can like save your labor in half. You do not have to struggle alone. Collaboration is about building relationship. Good underdog build lasting relationship with those they are trying to influence, and they know that the quick transaction have little lasting value. So don't just go in and go out, but build lasting relationship. Go out of your way to establish and provide value for your prospect before enlisting them in your supportive actions. And that is a powerful tool, and that is also a meaningful way to collaborate. And that is also the key to a successful collaborations, because you do not know when will this favor be paid, but it will be paid someday.
Awesome. I love that. I love everything that you're saying. Incredible stuff. Thank you so much to being on the show here. Please tell people where they can find you after the show.
Okay, you can find me at my website. It's twisbpublishing.com. Or you can send me an email at contact@twisbpublishing.com. I'll be giving away because I have a book coming up called The Power of Collaborations, which I'll be giving away some advanced reading copy. If you're interested to read about this book, please send me an email at contact@twisbpublishing.com or at my website twisbpublishing.com. By the way, TWISB stand for The World is So Big.
Okay. Okay, so TWISB Publishing, right?
Yes.
Okay, I'm screwing up here myself here. Okay, so TWISB Publishing.com or contact at
yes.
TWISB Publishing.com. Right. And what does that stand for again? Let us know what that stands for again.
It stands for The World is So Big. Which
awesome.
We are only one book away or one call away. It's about connections. It's about building relationship.
Awesome. I love it. I love it. Thank you so much. And Rach Week says, great resource again with an exclamation point for you. Thank you so much, Rach, for being on the show.
You're welcome.
As well.
Such a great time talking to you. Yeah.
Watch out for the underdog. Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly. Awesome. So I am filled today. This is great. And we're actually doing it. See, we're making things happen even on a Black Friday. Okay. We're here, we're this, and we're still on the hustle, still on the grind. So I'm so excited to have you on here. I am done. Unless you guys, I'm I'm going crazy right now because I'm just loving what you're saying because it's so unique what you're saying. But go also to the authorityletter.com. Please get on there. I have 3 videos that help you build your authority platform. And I also do a bunch of giveaways. I'm doing one at midnight tonight. At midnight tonight, you need to get on there. So,
How awesome is that? Wow.
Yes. So get on that as well. So that is all for me. Unless you have anything else to share before we get out of here, Chrissy?
Now, we'd be glad to answer any questions if there's any question. If not, go ahead and send me an email. I'll be happy to answer any questions. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Hey, guys, build it, share it, and they will come. Be blessed. We'll see you on the next one. Take care. Peace.
God bless. Take care.
And that's a wrap for this episode of The Authority Project. Thanks so much for tuning in. And if you like what you've heard, we want to hear from you. Subscribe, rate, and give an honest review. Share and tell your friends so they can hear too. And for even more authority building tactics, be sure to sign up at theauthorityletter.com. Get free weekly content and ongoing digital product giveaways to help you on your entrepreneurial journey. We certainly hope you got a key takeaway or maybe an aha moment from today's broadcast. Just remember, it's your authority. Build it, share it, and they will come. Until next time.